10 most insane things billionaires have done. Many people aspire to become billionaires, forgetting that it takes only the odd ones among the even ones to tip the scale. It is a position for only a few people in this society, so no one is surprised when we have them around the world in a few numbers. We can't deny that although few, they hold power like no one else in the world. With the amount of presence they command, you would expect that they are always at their best. Interestingly, this isn't the case for a lot of billionaires. Instead, we have noticed a streak of crazy dealings with almost all the billionaires. W65, 000 pieces he has been able to make the legendary collection. Sometimes it gets worse and big. Extremely influential billionaires are caught in the act of one crazy or another. In this video, our focus is the most insane things billionaires have done that have left our mouth opened and jaw hanging. Hang in there for a while. Before you continue with this video, use the opportunity to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and please do not forget to share with your loved ones. Now, back to the crazy billionaires. Here are some notable insane things that billionaires have done for reasons best known to them. Ivan Shrenko being a recluse. If we had to choose the man of the match of the crazy billionaires, Ivan would definitely be a strong contender with a hope of winning. It is only fair because who else among these billionaires is reclusive in the weirdest way as this man? From what we know, this man has only one picture of himself on social media across all platforms and has not cared to update his profile for the longest time. We were able to confirm the weight of this insanity or its indifference from Forbes. You would think that the excitement of being on Forbes' list of the most respected billionaires edition is enough to inspire a new picture. But I guess he does not rate Forbes or the rest of the world for that matter. If billionaires are not being ignorant or recluse, they are being silly and spending, buying things at outrageous prices and spending on some of the most insanely unexpected things ever. Jean Koum for his insane car collection. There is only so much car a person can drive. Apparently, Jean does not care for this particular statement and has in fact never cared. At least we know his love was never the WhatsApp he sold to Mark years ago. His one and only love has to be those cars he keeps filling his garage with. Since selling his share of the WhatsApp for $7.5 billion, he has proven this over 1 million times. And this is us shouting on the rooftop that we got the message loud and clear, John. Carlos Sem and his collection of artworks. Well, I never thought I would say this, but it looks like collecting things is one of the passions of our billionaires these days. If they are not collecting cars, they are collecting artwork worth $800 million. Not many people moved by the beauty of art and the importance of it. With people like Carlos, whose appreciation for art is still openly evident in the amount he has shown willingness to pay, we can say that the future of art is not completely in shambles, and from now on, should expect more of his expensive art collections. Stephen Cohen purchased a preserved 14-foot tall shark. I have always been wondering why Stephen did that since I got the news. I still have not been able to come up with a solid answer as to why he did this, but if we could just get inside Stephen's head to see what exactly he was thinking at the time, we would understand why he spent $8 to $12 million on this purchase. The Sultan of Brunei's car collection. There must really be something in the air if all of these billionaires spend a good time of their lives collecting things. For Sultan, his collection of cars have the combined value of $5 billion, and he does not look like he is stopping anytime soon. If there's anything that keeps us all on our toes, it is a crazy purchase record like Sultan's. This car collection, till today, will go into record as one of the most expensive car collections to be owned privately. We can't say we are proud of the Sultan, but we definitely feel his impact in the world. Jeff Bezos bought a newspaper for $250 million. Billionaires must certainly feel like Superman sometimes, like they have the world at their fingertips and are able to do whatever they like as long as the money stands. This is the only plausible conversation for what transpired between the Graham family and Bezos. I mean, for the longest time, for generation to generation, this famous newspaper that allegedly brought down a whole presidency of certain era was bought over in 2013 by the one and only Jeff Bezos. Who spends that much just for some juicy gossip? Well, one of the richest men in the world clearly does. If nothing at all, he was able to pass a message across to the rest of us that he is definitely not like any of us, and he is not even pretending to be. If there's anything the masses do not understand about billionaires, it is this particular nonchalant attitude. But like I said, he doesn't care. Jocelyn Wildenstein's plastic surgery. One thing is for sure, billionaires know how to damn the society and do whatever they want without much consideration for people's saltiness. Well, as long as it is nothing hurtful or damaging to humanity, I say go for it. Jocelyn went for it after getting stinking rich from her divorce at 70, and in no time, she let us all know that although she is 70, she definitely is not ready to start looking the part. Elon Musk's submarine car. It is the tech age era, and all millennials have Elon Musk to thank for that. Well, he is cashing out big time now, as he has been for a while. Little wonder he desires to be different from the rest of all of us, and he's been able to expressly tell us his desire to be different by purchasing a submarine car for a sum of $997,000. Not too much if you ask me, but it definitely was a lot of money at the time that he went to go for it. Carlos Slim's museum in Mexico. The richest man in Mexico, and one-time richest man in the world, has a flair for arts, and has rightly shown this by having a museum to his name. Now, you should not assume that he did the museum thing halfway, or just did it because he was bored. He went all the way in, with a whopping sum of $800 million in collection of arts of about 65,000 pieces. For me, apart from being a billionaire that is known far and wide, I believe this man has attained a legendary status in the world of art and should now be awarded. Maxim Vedorov's violin. Being a violin collector was always something Maxim did by the side, although we all are aware that he made and still makes all the money that he has to his name by being a lawyer. This wealthy, educated Russian man, who has shown the world, even before 2008, that his love for the violin was matchless, sealed this confession in the heart when he got himself a violin. A violin that had been out of shape and had not been played for several decades. The question is, why go for a violin like that when he could have just gotten a regular violin with all the functional parts and perfectly tuned? Well, the question still begs for an answer because he has not been able to answer it. All we know, and I believe all he wants us to know, is that as long as he wants it, he is getting it. We can remain impressed about it. The violin he got dated back as far as the 18th century, one of the 150 only surviving violins made by Giuseppe Garnari del Gusto. One thing billionaires are going to do is get themselves whatever makes them feel good and special. As long as it can be bought with money, there is no big deal. Even if it sounds ridiculous, they would rather leave you all to discuss the ridiculousness of it all. Here's where I drop the pin on today's wonderful episode. If you enjoyed this video so far, make sure to like, drop your comment or question, share, and most importantly, do not move on from this video without subscribing to my YouTube channel. See you in the next video, guys.